You've done a great job of getting people to incriminate themselves on camera, on video. You've done what the Mike Wallaces have done for a long time, yet you've been attacked by the media. Haven't they been doing the same thing for years?
Yes, and they have. 60 Minutes, ABC's Primetime Live, they used to win Emmys for doing the exact same thing, using or posing as characters in order to elicit candid conversations from your subjects. Most of these institutions are not going to be honest with you when you have a camera in front of their face.
Why do you think they're so outraged?
The media?
Yeah.
Well, they're outraged because they feel in their hearts, it's a combination of probably jealousy and resentment that young people with little resources can scoop them, can accomplish so much. I mean, our Acorn story, it's almost like, you know, Hannah Giles spending her internship money to fly around the country. It's like a modern day Woodward and Bernstein taking down an organization that's tied to the White House. And they resent that, both because they want to protect probably the current administration, and also because how can young people with no money and no resources do what they can't do?
You're part of a new movement in political activism.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole new movement. How did you manage to get so many people involved and to really get it started?
I think well, I would give a lot of credit to Facebook, you know, and I can't you know, overestimate this. I have had a lot of people message me on Facebook and say, I want to get involved. And it's a direct way for them to just say, hey, James, I want to do a video. I know Hannah messaged me that way. Sean Adelaide messaged me that way. They send messages and they say, here's my idea, and we chat, and it's just a very social media thing.
What do you think the major issues are that are bringing these 20-somethings into this political process?
The major issue that are bringing them in, a lot of them are motivated by a deep-seated sort of, frankly, contempt for what they view as their voice is not being heard. Their institutions they want to see investigated are not being investigated. I have a friend right now in New Jersey who is an African-American female, and she feels like she's being taken advantage of in the inner cities. And there's no platform for her to express herself. So she wants to create her own media, her own YouTube channel, to do things that she feels like the media in New Jersey is unwilling to do.
Okay, how do we get these people involved? It's time for some advice. Tell our viewers how those 20-somethings, viewers of ours, how they can get involved now.
Well, I mean, there's a couple different ways. I would recommend everyone focus on doing actual content creation, journalism. A lot of people like to be either opinion makers or news aggregators. They want to collect information. What I recommend people do, especially in this media market, everyone has a blog, everyone likes to talk about their opinion. Very few people like to actually do digging. So actually do journalism. There's a need for it in this country. There's no investigative reporting anymore. Go out there with a camera, and if you have something you're passionate about, be a citizen journalist. You don't need, you know, ABC News, when they do an interview with me, they have 5 cameras and light crews and union crews. You don't need that. All you need is a camcorder. So I think there's no barrier to entry anymore. You just YouTube. And there's a real need for content. So focus on content creation. You can certainly get in touch with me on my website too.
But how do you get my generation involved?
Well, your generation's a little more cynical. And I found in my experience that, you know, a lot of people, even as I was doing the Acorn expose, people would say, what's the point of this? What are you gonna show, that Acorn's corrupt? Everyone knows that Acorn is corrupt. I think, frankly, a lot of you know, the older generations don't believe in this. They don't understand it because maybe maybe because we grew up with Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. To us, it's natural. We don't watch the news networks. I don't watch the news networks. We go on to see what our friends are saying. So I think it's a young phenomenon, and people should take notice of that.
You've said at times that you have to pay the rent.
Yes.
If somebody wants to help you pay that rent and they have a good idea, are you willing to pursue it?
Well, yeah, I think so far we've been completely independent. No one has given us money and said, we want you to investigate X. So far, we have struggled financially, really struggled financially, focusing on what we want to investigate. No one said, here's money, go take down Acorn. We spent our own money to do that. This is a true story. for the NPR story and the Acorn story, we raised our own personal money to do that. And we want to build an organization. We have the Project Veritas now. It's a nonprofit. It's tax exempt. We just got our tax exemption.
It's your big opportunity to give your website on that.
Yes, the Project Veritas. And if you can't spell that, if you just go to exposenpr.com, it'll redirect. So exposenpr.com, and you can make a donation to us. We're a 501c3 charitable organization dedicated to exposing waste, fraud, abuse, and unethical behavior.
But if a donor has an idea and wants to sponsor that idea and wants to get your help in pursuing it, are you willing to talk to them?
I'm willing to have a conversation. I think generally it's probably a bad idea to take money directly and say, I'm going to investigate X for, you give me money and I'm going to go investigate that. We try to do things we believe are right. We try to focus on organizations, our conscience, we want to focus on and solicit money from the grassroots. That's what we've done so far. We've struggled, but I think you're crossing a very careful ethical line in journalism when someone gives you money and says, we want you to go after this. So we try to be very careful about that. So far, we've had the privilege of focusing on what we want to investigate.